my name is Lexi. You two know me very well. I've been teaching here for about 4 years now, and I've helped roughly 300 students accomplish their riding goals and their horse goals. I have Mr. Tex in here with me. We are gonna do some desensitizing with Tex today. First, we're gonna do some round penning because obviously he was not a super big fan of me walking up to him and putting his halter on, which is fine. He's kind of watchy, so he likes to sit there and stare at everybody and see what everybody's doing and mind his business over there while I'm minding my business over here. But I need him to come up to me so I can put his halter on so that we can desensitize. Michelle already kind of warmed him up, so we'll go through it a little bit quicker than we normally do. The exception is potentially the stick and string because he's still kind of weird about it. So I'm just gonna drive him around. I'm gonna point what direction I want him to go. He's already set up to drive out to my right, so I'm just gonna ask him to go that way just to set him up for a better success. So I'm gonna point. He started walking, that was very nice of him, so I'm gonna release just a little bit. I'm gonna ask him to trot. So I'm gonna point. He's not really doing it, so I'm gonna cluck at him. He was willing to right there. And then I'm gonna ask him to canter. So I'm gonna point, cluck. He's not doing it, so I'm gonna spank the ground behind him. He said, okay, yes ma'am, I'm going. He dropped down to a trot, so I'm just gonna correct him. He did it based off of my body language and my hand, which was really nice of him. He's kind of slowing down there. Good boy. Good boy. Good. Okay, so right here, I'm gonna ask him to stop, see if he'll come up to me. You're pretty good right there. So now I'm gonna walk around and see if he'll follow me. We've been doing this a lot for the last 2 weeks or so. So I have a feeling he'll stay with me pretty good. But I'm just gonna stick my hand out, let him sniff it. He says, I don't wanna sniff it. You stink. Oh, good boy. Oh, good boy. He's more willing on his right side than his left until we desensitize, then it switched, which is kind of funny. But I'm gonna come up just a little bit closer to him, see if he'll yield his hindquarters around for me just a bit. Good boy. He's kind of nervous. He can hear cat over there, which is fine. I'm gonna lift my hand up so he can see me pretty good. We'll rub him. I'm gonna see if he'll let me stand off to his side. He says, no, I don't want you on my side. There you go, there you go. He's kind of like, no. Now I'll see if I can trick him a bit. There we go, good boy. Good boy. He is okay. Okay, so now that he's kind of queued up to me, I'm gonna come over here and grab my halter. We're gonna do the same thing with the halter. Just go nice and slow with him. You see it? So we'll just walk around for a minute. Come here. Come on. So I'm kind of changing my direction to try to keep his attention on me. You stinker. Maybe we won't desensitize today. He's like, no. So I'm just gonna send him out and kind of make him work, because I want him to realize that if he comes and sits with me, he gets to hang out and be chill. Good boy. Good boy. He says, I'm too fat for this.
He knows he's going to work.
Are you going to the arena again?
Yeah.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Oh boy. Ah, did I scare you? I'm sorry. Good boy. So he yielded around for me there. That was really nice of him. I might change back over here again. So the more I change, the more he's got to pay attention to me. They'll get kind of complacent as we walk around. So if I just sit here and go this way the whole time, he's going to be like, okay, whatever, we're just trudging along. But if I'm like, hey, we're going to switch, he's going to be like, oh, okay. He's going to learn he's got to pay more attention to me than wherever he's wanting to be or thinking about going. Good boy. He says no. There you go, good boy. So I'm just gonna gently set this rope over him. I'm gonna kind of rub him with it first just to let him know where it's at. And then I'll just gently put it up over his neck. Good boy. And I'm just gonna feed it a little bit more. I'll take my halter and rub him again. I'm standing off to his side. I probably should be a little bit further away from him, but to put his halter on, I'm gonna have to get close. So his body language is pretty relaxed right now, which is why I'm choosing to stand a little bit closer. If he were freaking out, what I'd do is I would just take this lead rope off of him at this point to give him a release, and then I'd walk away. I'd still make him follow me, but I wouldn't advance until he was very comfortable with me. And I didn't feel like I was afraid he was gonna kick out, bite, chase me, whatever it may be. Good boy. But we've done this a lot with him the last week or so, so I feel pretty comfortable with him. And I feel like he's pretty comfortable with me too. Good boy. So I'm gonna see, he kind of was having a hard time bringing this around his nose, so I'm gonna see if he'll let me do it today. He's kind of like, no. Oh, what a brave boy. So I always have my horses, let me maybe see if I can turn them around so that everybody can see a little bit better. Good boy. So I always have my horses bring their head down to me. So I just gently put my hand right here behind his ears and then tip his nose at me. This is something you gotta train him to do. So the first couple of times, good boy. The first couple of times, I don't worry too much about it. I'll teach him to do that when I'm taking the halter off, and then I'll ease it into putting it on. Initially, for putting the halter on, our first lesson is to just get it on politely. I don't want him chucking his head around. I don't want him freaking out. As long as he lets me put it on nicely, like that was really good. Obviously, again, we've been working with him all week, but as long as he lets me put it on nicely, I don't worry too much about them lowering their head right off the bat. But when I let them go, I do worry about it, because at that point, like they're kind of used to how the halter sits on them. They've gotten a little more used to it. And then I find that they start applying it. By the second time I go to put that halter on, they're like, oh, okay. So I'm gonna let him walk around, kind of let him move his nose around so he can get the halter in a spot that he likes. He's still getting used to the way the halter feels and sits on him. So I like to just walk him for a second and just kind of let him feel it. Again, I'll still change directions pretty frequently. Good boy. Good. Good boy. Okay, so I'm gonna desensitize him to the lead rope first. He still gets a little bit nervous with this around his bum, but he's been doing significantly better, especially today. I feel like he did really good with it today. So I'm gonna start up here on his wither. That's one of the least sensitive parts of their body. It's where we pet a lot, it's where we touch a lot, but also it's where they can see pretty well without feeling too frightened. When stuff starts getting like really close to their bum, really close to their front legs or their face, they start to get worried about it. They're not as worried up here. And part of that is because like when it rains or snows, the rain and snow comes and sits right here. So that's part of it. But he can also turn to look at it really well. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, do you guys have questions so far? Okay, I was gonna say, Michelle, you and I do this all the time. You probably don't have questions, but. So I'm just gonna take this rope and initially I'll just rub him with it, let him know it's not here to hurt him. And then I might start like flicking it over him just a little bit. I'm gonna keep my hand up so that he can't, you're okay, so that he can't plow me over. You're fine. He's like, the scooters, did you see that? You're okay. So I'll just come back in position and then I'll just rub him again, let him know it's okay. And then I'll pick a different starting point. Starting to flip it over him was a little too much for him, so I'll just kind of sit here and rub him with it. I might tap him a little bit, and then I'll go back to rubbing and then tapping him a little bit. Then I might like lean it over him just a bit. Good boy. So we want to stand at roughly a 45-degree angle from his shoulder. I have to stand a little bit closer to touch him with this initially, but as we get better and as we start tossing it over him, I'll work my way away from him. Initially, when we start training, I'll kind of start out here and I'll just wiggle this rope a little bit out here by his shoulder. And I'll stand right about here. Again, keeping my hand up so that he can't paw me over. He does pretty good with that, so I'm challenging him a little bit today and just hopping right into the rubbing and the touching. So now that he's really good at that, I'll come over here to his back and I'll do it on his back. And then I get a little nervous around his rump just because I don't fully trust him yet. So I'll usually sit here around his hip, and he does pretty good around his hip. And I'm kind of watching his back legs so that if I need to push him away from me, I can. If I need to push him, I'm gonna pull his nose towards me because he's always gonna follow his nose, and then he's gonna move his bum away from me. Good boy, that was so nice. So I'm kind of just getting ready for that if I don't totally trust him yet. So now we'll move up to his neck. Good boy. And I'm letting this rope dangle so it kind of wiggles and gets him used to it now that he's kind of relaxed. Now I might try to chuck it over him. And I'm just gonna be nice and gentle at first. And I'll just throw it over a couple of times and then I'll rub him with it again. The rubbing just lets him know that it's not here to hurt him. It's not gonna swing around and spank him every time. It's not gonna mean push, 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 go, go, go. It's just here as a tool. It's like a kid in a backpack, right? Most toddlers are like, I don't want a backpack. But then you're like, look at all the things you can carry in it. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Good boy. So then I'll come back to his back. He's a little bit more nervous with that one, so I'm gonna stay here for just a minute. I'm gonna release often, just like I was earlier, but I'm gonna stay here for just a minute. Anytime he tips his nose away, I just bring it right back to me. Ooh, good boy. So he thought about moving, and then as soon as I put my hand up, well, he did move, but as soon as I put my hand up, he just was like, oh, okay, I need to stop. He did it pretty nicely. I got more of his bum right there. So I'm flicking it up and over. I'm not letting it come down and like smack him hard. So I'm more so bringing my hand at an angle towards him instead of like up and over down at him. Because then that tail end with that leather would smack him pretty hard and that wouldn't feel good to him. Good boy. Good boy. I'm gonna release him right there. He thought about leaving and then he didn't. He was nice and relaxed afterwards, so I'm gonna reward him for that. And then right there, he started moving, so I'm gonna stay in position. He's hard because he's such a short little guy, like it's hard to stay in position with him sometimes. So I'm keeping my hand out so that I'm not changing my pressure. And then I'm keeping my other hand up here by his face to try to get him to slide over a little bit, because I don't want to be right in front of him. Good boy. He's held still that time, so now I'm gonna rub him. Good boy. He's like, I don't know, man. So with the lead rope and the stick and string, we want to use those tools to desensitize because those are the ones that we use the most frequently. And then we'll move on to stuff like the blanket and the saddle. I like them. Sorry, dude, that was kind of my bad. He's like, ah! My rope came down and spanked his butt a little bit, so then he wanted to move. When they do that, if I accidentally whack them just a bit harder, I just keep going so that they learn that even if somebody gets smacked, it's not that big of a deal. Especially where we have the goal of these guys doing lessons, I really hold them accountable for those, because little kid, not that he's gonna have little kids on him right off the bat, but people who are new to horses and don't always know what they're doing, they're gonna whack him by accident. It's the reality, it's what happens. So I want him to learn not to freak out about it and not to be worried about it sooner than later. Right there, he's like, no. He's like watching Jennifer work over there. You see that? Good boy. Good boy. And then I don't want to be between him and a fence, so I'm going to come back over here to the center. Good boy. Good boy. He's like, I don't know, man. Good boy. So kind of same thing that we did with his back. He's still really nervous here, so I'm gonna keep working on his rump. Ooh. Ooh. No, you guys should be good. Good boy. So now he's standing a little bit better. Initially, I could only get one little spank. Now I can get two, which is nice of him. Right there, he's thinking about leaving, so I'm just gonna wait for him. Good boy. He's like, I just wanna move. I wanna leave. So now I've not stopped my pressure, but I've retreated just a little bit. So I'm kind of spanking the ground now around him. And then I'll come back up here just because I couldn't quite reach him when I was going and he was moving. So I didn't stop my pressure. I just slightly changed it until he could stop, or would stop, I should say. Good job, Cat. Kind of thought about leaving there. Good boy. So I want him to get really good with the lead rope and the stick and string because it's gonna get him used to things going all across his body. When we start doing the blanket, that's a lot bigger than the lead rope or the stick and string, and so some horses do okay with it, some horses get more scared of it just because it's bigger and it's wrapping around their body at that point, around a large chunk. Like my lead rope here, it's just taking up that much space on his back. The blanket will take up this much space on his back. So I feel like most horses, I'm just gonna push his bum away from me. Most horses get a little bit nervous with it. Just one, it's a new thing, but then also it's a lot bigger than anything else they've ever worked with. And I make sure that they're good with the blanket before I even consider moving on with the saddle. One, because blankets are cheaper than saddles, so if he bucks it off, that's, you know, just a blanket in the sand. But if he bucks off the saddle, like, he can damage the saddle a little bit easier than just a blanket. So I try to make sure they're really good with their lead rope and their stick and string, then really good with the blanket, then they can move on to the saddle. And I usually have like a cheaper saddle that I'll put on them. That way I'm not too heartbroken if somebody dumps it on the ground. Most of the time though, once they get good with the blanket, they get pretty good with the saddle. Some horses restart, but I feel like most of them do okay. Oh boy. So now he's doing pretty good with his bumps, and now I'm gonna move on to his hind legs. He says, no, you're not. So initially I just kind of have it tap them. Once they get really good, I'll have it like wrap around their leg so that they get used to things around their legs. It's really important to desensitize their legs really well because horses' feet, just like our toenails and our fingernails, they don't ever stop growing. And so we have to get a farrier out here to trim their feet. And if the horse is being rude or a jerk, like, the farrier won't work on them. And I tell all of my farriers, both my personal and the ones here, if there's a horse that's being a jerk, don't put yourself in danger, like, just stop and we won't do the trim for the day. Or the shoes, whatever it may be. Because some horses are good with having a trim but not good with shoes. It all just depends on the horse. So I always tell my farriers, if there's a horse who's being a jerk, just stop. And I'll work on them with it, and then they can try again next time. So farrier usually comes out between 6 and 8 weeks. We usually do 8 weeks for our guys. They're all usually good with the longer time. Good boy. But we have ours in 2 sets. So we get half of our horses done one set, and then half of the horses done on another set. So if somebody misses one, they can always go a little bit earlier the following time. And then that gives me time to work with the horse, gives me time to properly prepare them for the farrier. Oh, now we're gonna switch. He says that's kind of crazy. So now that I've come to the other side, we're just gonna restart. We're gonna start up here on his wither. We're just gonna rub him down with it, let him know it's okay. Kind of come down on his back, up on his hip a little bit. Ooh. He says, I don't know. You got a fly on you? He's like, maybe. Good boy. You got a bug? Yeah. So I'm gonna keep going until he stands still. I can't quite tell if he has a bug on him or not. If he does, I can't see it. But he stopped really nicely right there. Stopped wiggling, I should say. Ooh. So right there, I'm just gonna keep going with my pressure. Good boy. I got bugs on me. Mosquitoes are coming out, huh? So then that kind of bugged him, so I'll do that a couple of times again. Good boy. Good boy. You don't have to whisper. Good boy. Do you need something though? Yes, it's a camera. I said, yeah, it's a camera. Did you need something, Brayden? You're just watching. Good boy. You got a bug? Let me get your bug. Good boy. You good?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool, cool.
Look at you. You're becoming the American Clinton Anderson.
I'm trying.
Lexi Anderson.
I would never become an Anderson.
Do it. Talk to me like I'm the camera.
2 eyes. 2 eyes.
Do your
Exactly.
spiel.
I already did my spiel.
All right, partner. Now what you're gonna do is the horse really needs to see you.
That's better than I could
I hear that guy's voice in my sleep.
do. Emily and I were talking about it.
Good boy. Okay, so now we're gonna repeat with our stick and string. I'm gonna go through, as long as he's, come here, as long as he's receptive, I'm gonna go through a little bit faster, just because he does pretty good with this. And I wanna get more to the spanking on the ground, rather than just sitting here bumping him around with all this. Good boy. He's like, it's whatever. So brave. So great. That okay? Oh, good. He kind of, initially he would freak out with your hand behind his ears. So I always take that stick and string and I'll rub him behind it. That way he's kind of further away from me, but well then I gotta come over here. Good boy. He's standing cross-legged, you see that?
Yeah.
He's like, I stand over here. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, see, he didn't love that right there. There you go. So brave. So good. Oh, sorry. Here, let's do that spot again. He says, that's too low. That's freaking me out. Look at him. He's like, no. There you go. Good boy. Normally, I don't go that low right off the bat, just because I don't want them kicking out at me. But I did it by accident, so now we're going to do it. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to smack you. That was my bad. Good boy. See, you're so brave. You can do it. I believe in you. It's so funny that he'll let you throw it over his back, but he won't let you do it off to the side. Good boy. See, it's okay. You're okay. So I'm going to keep my pressure the same. Even though he's going all around. I'm just going to follow him. I'm not going to worry too much about what he's doing. I'm just going to keep it the same. So I'm doing the same consistency, the same tempo. He's holding still there, but I'm going to keep going until I can get back in position. Where are you going? And wait until he relaxes a little bit before I stop.
Keep holding it, keep kicking until it straightens out.
There you go. Ah, you thought about it. He's like, no. So I'm not reprimanding him in any way, shape, or form. I'm just letting him decide when he wants to stop. And I don't want to be right in front of him, because then if he launches forward, there you go. If he launches forward, he's going to plow me over. Good boy. So now I'll bring it back in the middle so I have a little more space. He's like, it's following me. So brave. What a good boy. Come out this way just a little bit. Good boy. So even that, he was kind of nervous. So I'm going to release him there. Then I'll pull it away. There you go. See, it's okay. I promise. I promise it's okay. Okay. He's like, Lexi, I just want to look at you. There you go. Good boy. Oh. So I was going to stop, and then he didn't. Then he stopped right there. Yeah. Good boy. So even if he just holds still for one, I'm going to take that. I might be cracking down a little too much for him. Whoa, don't get smacked. There you go. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Good boy. Oh boy. So he's getting a little bit better with me flinging that around now that I went back a little bit. Oh boy. I think we'll call that good for the day. That was a nice spot to end on.